Welcome to today's Daily Dose. I'm Eric Watson, entrepreneur and business leader. I focus on the areas of wealth, wellness, and winning. And if my daily dose can touch but one, my job is done. Welcome everyone. Welcome to today's Daily Dose, where I try to give you a daily dose of motivation and inspiration to help get you through the day, all right? And with that, I'll say as I say each and every day, I'm yet again blessed to be blessed on today, the greatest day of my life. And some of you may ask, why, Eric, is today the greatest day of your life? It is because today is the most recent occurrence whereby I've been allowed to get up out of bed, take yet another breath, walk amongst the living, but more importantly, share with each and every one of you. And I truly feel that my ability to share is a blessing. I do not take it for granted. And I hope and pray each and every day that I can touch at least one out there with something that is said today. So again, I'm Eric Watson with your Daily Dose. And let's go ahead and get on with today's quote of the day. All right. And today's quote, we're going way back. Today's quote is by a young lady named Florence Nightingale. Okay. And for those who are not familiar with who Florence Nightingale was, she was an English social reformer and statistician and the founder of modern day nursing. All right. And what Florence Nightingale said was, I attribute my success to this. I never gave or took any excuses. I'm going to say that one again. All right. That may hit home with some of you. OK. I attribute my success to this. I never gave or took any excuses. Now, wow, okay? Now, first of all, an excuse, right? An excuse is defined as a reason or explanation put forward to defend or justify a fault or offense. All right, but for my purposes, I guess in this case, I will say it isn't necessarily a fault or offense, but a reason or explanation put forward to defend why you did not get something accomplished. All right. We're talking about excuses, why you did not get the job done. All right. I see it more as a false reason that you give to explain why you did or did not get it done. Okay, now, how many of you, this is going to sting a little bit, but how many of you have come up with excuses when you didn't get a job done? How many of you have come up with that false rationalization as to why you did not get a job done, why you did not get the mission accomplished, why you did not make it happen? All right, and as much as I try to avoid them, as much as I try to get away from them, I have had my occasion where I've come up with excuses before. All right. I try to avoid them, but I have had my occasions, like I said. And I think it is a natural response to try to rationalize a failure. Right. Nobody wants to be a failure. No one wants to fail at anything. Everyone wants to be successful. Right. So it's a natural response to try to rationalize why you failed, because nobody wants to be that failure. All right. But excuses are not a good thing, and we need to try to avoid them. No excuses. All right. And we can do much better as individuals as we reach towards our goals when we take accountability for our actions. All right. And I think that's the polar opposite. OK, there are excuses and then there's accountability. All right. But when we take accountability for our actions, we can do much better. We can reach much higher heights. And when we accept what we did or did not do as our responsibility, we take that accountability. And when we take accountability for what we did or did not do, we are much more open to learn from that situation. So it's more of a learning evolution when we take accountability and when we say, okay, I messed that up. I should have, but I didn't, or whatever the case may be. When you take accountability for your actions, you're much more open to learn from that situation. And when we learn from those situations, we grow and we improve ourselves. No excuses. All right. Now, have you noticed when someone makes excuses, they get very defensive about the criticism on what they did or did not do? They get very defensive, right? They're not very open to learn from that situation. They're not about personal improvement. If they don't learn, they don't grow. Okay? If they don't grow, they don't improve, they don't get better, and they hamper their success because of that defensiveness. No excuses. All right? And I talk to my kids about this all the time, about being accountable for their actions. Now, it's hard for me, in their defense, to relate to their situation because I have 4 kids, 3 of them currently live with me, but I grew up as an only child. But when something happens in my house, they used to all point at each other. It wasn't my fault. It was his fault. It was her fault. You know, they would always blame each other and they would never take accountability. Now, they're getting a whole lot better at it. But it was hard for me to relate to that situation because, again, I grew up as an only child. So I didn't see how I had to take accountability because I was the only one there to mess something up, right? And again, they're getting much better at it, and they're learning from their mistakes. That is the key. They're learning from their mistakes. No excuses. All right? Now, it takes a certain level of maturity to accept your faults, though, okay? Now, we never want people to judge us or consider us less than adequate. All right? And that's why we have that knee-jerk reaction to get defensive and to come up with excuses. But we never want people to consider us inadequate. So we find ways to rationalize our shortcomings, right? But when we get to a place where we don't mind what other people are saying, what other people are thinking, when we get to that place, we can adequately place blame on ourselves when that's where it belongs, right? When we fall short, we need to take accountability, place the blame squarely on ourselves, because that's how we grow. Then, and only then, can we be successful, just as Florence Nightingale said. All right? So if you want to be successful in your relationships, if you want to be successful in parenting, in your business, don't make excuses. Say no to excuses, all right? Be accountable for your actions. You will learn from it. People will respect you more, and you will feel better about yourself. No excuses. All right, with that, I want to hear from you. Let me know what you think about excuses and Florence Nightingale's quote. I'm going to read it for you again. I attribute my success to this. I never gave or took any excuse. All right? No excuses. I want to hear what you think. Reach out. Facebook at Mr. Eric Watson. That's MrEricWatson. The same thing on Instagram, Mr. Eric Watson. Same thing on Twitter, Mr. Eric Watson. Let me hear what you think. I want to hear from each and every one of you what you think about Florence Nightingale's quote and your personal relationship with excuses or taking accountability. All right, so with that, let me know what you think. And everyone, have a blessed and prosperous day. Happy Friday. Welcome to the weekend. Everyone be safe. And with that, I'm out of here.
Thank you for joining me for today's Daily Dose. I hope you were able to get something out of it, because again, if I can touch but one, my job is done. Everyone have a blessed and prosperous day.